It's springtime and many folks are venturing outdoors now to work on the yard, to work in their garden. They're raking, they're shoveling, they're planting. And what I found is that at this time of year, there's a real increase, there's a real spike in people coming in with lower back strain, with lower back injuries. And what I want to do in this short video is I want to give you some simple tips that are going to allow you to work outside and without any consequences, without injuring yourself. First thing I want to tell you is that if you're intending to go outside and start to work on the yard, I want you to approach it just like it's a workout. I want you to do a warm-up. And that could be something as simple as going for a brisk walk for 10 minutes. It could be doing some simple lower back stretches. It could be doing some jumping jacks. Whatever it takes to get your heart rate up and to get the blood into your muscles, because if we can do that, warm muscles are going to be less likely to be injured than cold ones. In terms of ergonomics, after you have a good warm-up, what I want you to think about are three very simple principles or ergonomic rules when it comes to lifting. Because people are going to be lifting soil and fertilizer bags and planters and different things like that. And one of the things that gets people into problems a lot of the time is what I call lazy lifting. And what lazy lifting looks like, that's when you're lifting something and you're actually lifting with your back. You're rounding your back out and lifting with your back. And that's what's going to put you at a lot of risk, because when you do lazy lifting, in your lower back, you're supposed to have a nice smooth curve in the lower back. And when you practice lazy lifting, what actually happens is you lose that curve in your lower back. And that can put your joints and your discs at risk for injury, like we see right here. So when you're lifting, you want to make sure that you're lifting with your legs. And this is what that looks like. You would keep your shoulders over your hips. You want to make sure that you're bending at the knees and at the hips. And you're lifting with the legs like this. So we're lifting like this, and there shouldn't be any kind of tipping like a teapot forward like this, because this is where injuries happen. So that's the first step. And when you lift, you want to make sure that you contract your stomach muscles and your glute muscles before you bend down, because if you tighten those muscles, it will stabilize your core. And if you've got a strong, stable core, again, you're going to be much less likely to injure yourself. The second thing I want you to think about is that when you have that load in your hands, when you've got that load, you want to make sure that you keep the load close to your body. Don't hold it out here. Sometimes folks are afraid they're going to get their shirt dirty. Keep the load close, because if you have a short lever instead of a long lever, you're going to be less likely to injure your lower back. And the third and the final thing I want to mention is that we want to keep your nose between your toes. Getting some black flies out here now. You want to keep your nose between your toes. And what I mean by that is you don't want to twist your shoulders outside of your hips like this. Sometimes I see folks, and what they're doing is they're twisting with a load. And that's not good for the lower back. You want to make sure that you turn your whole body and keep square to whatever it is that you're looking at. So those are the three most important ergonomic tips that you can follow, is that you make sure that you lift with your legs, not with your lower back. You want to make sure that you keep the load close to your body. And make sure that you keep your nose between your toes at all times when you're lifting. If you do those three things and you make sure you do a good warm-up before you go out in the garden, I guarantee that you're going to have a much better chance at having a gardening season that's going to be free of pain and discomfort and missing the things that you love to do. Anyways, feel free, if you know somebody who's doing a lot of gardening this season, please feel free to share this video, like this video, and pass it on to those that you think that could benefit from this, so that they can have an injury-free gardening season as well. I'm Dr. Tim Silvester. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.